Welcome back, everybody, to another podcast. I think this is our 9th one. So, we're going to talk about what we were like in high school and how we met each other and so on and so forth.
All that fun stuff.
Oh, fun stuff. We can, if we start at the beginning, we can kind of start how we met each other, I guess. Well, so my brothers and her brother, Steven, played, was it baseball or t-ball together?
Same thing.
Okay. Well, either way.
Baseball, Little League.
They played the games together, which is weird because I attended, and I know Ashley attended, but we never knew each other or saw each other.
I wasn't a person to go up and just randomly talk to people. I mean, when I was like really young, I might have, depending on where I was. But like at that age, I wouldn't like go up to people and be like, "Do you want to play with me?"
We weren't in high school at this point because our brothers were quite young and we were young too.
No, they were like elementary, middle school. Because
we
I knew, fun fact, I knew her brothers before I knew her. Because her brothers, not only did they play baseball with my brothers, they were also friends with my cousin.
But I was also friends with Jen in middle school, and I still didn't meet Ashley until high school.
Yeah, so my cousins, one is our age.
Yes.
She was our mutual friend, that's how we met. The other is our brother's age, so they were all in the same, so my cousin and her brothers were friends.
It's like skipped over us and then just kept going.
I met your brothers when they were in middle school. I think it might have been like 6th grade.
Because
Jamie, like that.
Jamie, her cousin's sister,
which is still my cousin.
Yeah, but same age as my brothers. They knew each other. Mm-hmm. They were friends. Mm-hmm. So it was really weird that we just never met because there's pictures of us at the same parties, but we never interacted. Like there was a picture of us at Maddie's party, which we weren't even friends at that either. But there's like pictures of
early
us.
High school, I think. Me
sophomore-ish year.
Jamie put on a surprise party thing. Like Jen knew about it.
Yeah.
She was like part of the planning.
So Jen and Maddie have close birthdays.
Yeah, and they're best friends. Yeah. So we threw them a conjoined birthday party, and basically everybody there was their friend group. I was the outsider in that situation. I only knew a couple of them. Obviously, I knew everybody through Jen.
I knew less than half of them. Maddie has a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know if
Social
Maddie
butterfly.
Only had like
there were some people
there.
There was quite a few people though that I didn't know.
Yeah, so basically I only knew like a couple of people. Like I knew Katie and Maddie.
I don't know.
I might have known Meg. Like obviously like I had been like told like stories because we went to different middle schools. Mm-hmm. So like I would hear like stories about like all their friend groups and like meet people.
Me and Jen went to the same middle school.
Like I said, I'm the outsider. I'm the only one that from like this like a group that didn't.
Well, we went off. So basically, who was it that convinced? So someone convinced my brothers that Ashley was stalking them because Ashley was always at the events that they were because of Steven being the same age.
No, it was because like and because like the school functions, like I would go with Jen and Jamie. Because they were my cousins, and we grew up, we were all very close, so we did, like, everything together. Like, we went to scouts, church, we hung out together all the time. We grew up together, so we did, like, everything together growing up. And so, like, I would always go to their school functions, and her brothers would be like, "What are you doing here?" And then Jamie was like, "She's stalking you guys," and they were like, "Oh my god."
Because I think when I first became friends with Ashley, the boys were like, "Oh, the one that stalked us?" And I was like, "What?" And they were like, "What?" And I was like, "What?"
I can't believe they remember that.
They remember a lot of things. It's scary how much they remember from when they were younger. Like, they pull something up and I'm like, I don't even... What? You remember that? Even my mom gets astonished, goes, "You remember that?" But, yeah, so it was really funny, right? So, well, obviously we have said multiple times that we didn't meet till senior year. Mm-hmm. But apparently Ashley, she tells me this, but I don't remember it at all. Tried to say hi to me and I ran away.
Oh yeah,
not that I remember.
So like this was like my one time.
It was like after the party, right?
I think it.
Because you saw me at the party, right? And so you thought mutual.
Yeah, I recognized you.
Yeah.
And I think this was like a year later. I think this was like junior year. Because I think I was coming from my history class. Because I know I was in the Shepherd building.
Yes.
This is where we were.
I was in the Shepherd building a lot.
And
Lunch
we crossed paths. And I was like, oh, hey, you're Makayla, right? I'm Ashley, Jen's cousin. And she just looked at me, was like, and just walked away. And I was like, okay. And then I walked away and just like, why did I do that? I'm such an awkward person. How could I do that? And I was like, regretting my whole life decisions. Because I'm just like, what did I do?
Thing is, though, I don't remember that. I do not remember, because in senior year, Ashley was like, yeah, I tried to say hi to you right away. And I'm like, that was like last year, and I don't remember.
I was like, oh God, it was so traumatic to you. You just blocked it out.
Just blocked it out.
So I even remember you were like, you had like dark, like blackish, grayish hair with like blue in it.
Sure. I don't know.
And it was kind of longish. I think, did you have bangs? I can't remember.
There was a period that I had bangs. I was on and off with bangs.
Yeah, I mean, technically, like with your like bowly, like swishy ones that you had like when we first knew each other, like I kind of count that as like bangs. But you had some like hair in front of your face.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of like you had like bangs and your hair was like about like here, I think. You're kind of a like
my hair's been my hair's
velvet?
been
No, what was it?
My hair has been everywhere. So like when someone's like, you had this haircut, I'm like, probably. But yeah, she like was telling me that in senior year, because so Jen was like, oh, because obviously in high school I was very awkward, I was very shy, very, very introverted. I had a hard time making friends.
Me too.
Not that I wasn't friendly, because if people did talk to me, like obviously I would talk back, and and if I had to do projects with people, I would talk up and do things and stuff. So, but I was just shy and I didn't make friends easily, and I wouldn't go up to people on my own.
Me
And
neither.
I think I mentioned this briefly.
That I did that to you.
I think I mentioned this briefly in one podcast, but I forgot. My brain just went off. But wow, just completely blanked. So I was very shy.
Wouldn't talk to anybody.
I mean, I would talk to people, but I wouldn't make friends of my own.
No, almost all of my friends were through Jen and like through mutual friends.
So
and like scouts and stuff.
Yeah, Ashley mentioned briefly, I think it was in our college chat that she would go look at her classes before school. But I never did, because I didn't know that you could even get onto campus.
I don't think most people knew
that you could even get onto campus beforehand. And because of that, I was always really nervous about going to the wrong classroom / I didn't know where I was going. So Jen was like, my cousin has the same math class as you. She's like, you want to go together? And I think she said that with both of us there, and we just like looked at each other and we were like, sure.
I was like, okay, want to go? So we walked through, because this was in the senior cap, so this was before school, and we were like, we just figured out like, hey, we have the same class. She was like, here, you guys go walk together.
And I was like,
so then we were just
Jen, sending me with a stranger.
Yeah, so we didn't know each other, so we were just awkwardly like walking, like not talking to each other, just across campus to class. And it was
she sat behind me.
I think I probably tried to make small talk, and it didn't go anywhere.
In high school, I was a little bit harder to approach than I am now, just because like it weirded me out sometimes. Not that Ashley was being awful or anything.
I have that effect on me.
But when you've had friends from elementary to middle school into high school, it's weird when sometimes someone new comes in. Because I've known Jen for a very long time, and so it was kind of weird to me that all of a sudden you just popped in, and I'm just like, you've been here the whole, like, what? Don't understand.
Yeah, she was kind of, I think you were like kind of like skeptical of me first. She was like, what's this person? What's her deal? Does she belong here? Like, what is her motive? Like, what does she want? Can she be trusted?
Because I had a rough patch with friends, so when it came to making new ones, it was very difficult. Not that I want to talk past friends, but Ashley knows how difficult it was for me in the past, so been burned. Probably didn't want to be burned again.
Yeah. Not really podcast material, more therapist material.
Yeah, more therapist material. But anyways, so she sat behind me in math class, and then she
sat behind me in math class, and then I asked the date, and they said October 29th.
Yeah.
I don't remember the date.
And then it kind of took off from
October
there.
3rd.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the date. Sorry.
So then it kind of took off from there because obviously I really liked that math class because he let you work together a lot. Mm-hmm. So if there was like problems he gave or something, he's like, you can turn around and work with anybody that you want. And I really liked it because it was pretty chill.
And it's nice that I think the option was also there, like you can work alone if you want, like, which is great because obviously we worked together because we knew each other. But like in other classes when they were like, okay, go pair up, I usually didn't have a partner or I would be like a leftover third.
Yeah, same.
And it was really awkward. I know there was one time I had a few friends in biology class in sophomore year, but it was a group of 5.
Oh, no.
So 2 would pair up and 2 would pair up, and then I would be the one out.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I don't know. And then I have to be like, can I join somebody?
And I liked it too because we would turn around to work together, but we wouldn't be like talking the whole time. We'd just be scribbling and be like, what'd you get? Oh, I got this.
How the hell do you do this?
And how do you do that?
Oh, do you remember in the math that one time? So we were we were just doing group work. It was us and was Allie there?
Yeah.
It was
we made a new friend, Allie. I forget from who.
I had known her already.
She branched off from somebody. She sat with us during lunch.
I knew her. I was in a math class with her the year before too.
She's very outgoing, so that might have helped me and Ashley talk more.
Yeah, she's very outgoing, very friendly.
So, because she probably wanted to talk to you. So, we became a little group of 3 because she sat, so Ashley sat behind me and she sat next to me.
Because I think she came into the class later, so she didn't have a seat right next to us. But she would always come over and scoot a chair over whenever we did group work.
Which was a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really liked that class because that teacher was great because then he would just walk around when you're working and he'd be like, who needs help? And, and the one-on-one did truly actually help, I feel.
Yeah.
Because it made more confident to, ask questions and you didn't understand it.
Yeah, it helped that it was algebra, and I'm pretty decent at algebra.
Oh, I am.
I know, the other class that me and Allie had together was awful because the teacher didn't, teach well, and it was geometry, which nobody understood. I hated geometry.
Do you remember his name? Because praises to him.
Mr. Rhodes. I'm pretty sure that's his name.
I don't know. I've had a lot of teachers, obviously, and I sometimes have a hard time remembering just from the amount of teachers that I've had in my life.
So I have 2 stories. I know one, I think it was in our class. Somebody was sleeping at their desk, I think 2 seats behind me or something. Yeah. So he just stopped class and went over and took a stack of books and just slammed them on the desk and jolted the person awake. I don't remember what he said.
No, it was super nice though.
Yeah. But the story that I was about to get to is we were in a group doing group work and God, I don't even know.
I was asking him a question.
Yeah, because we were looking super confused.
Me and Ashley were facing each other. She made a face, and then for some reason, my response was just kind of to laugh, and then he looked at me like, she made a face, and he just looked back at her.
He was like, she made a face, and he was like, okay, and just kind of walked away. Meanwhile, we were losing our shit.
And I didn't mean to, because I'm not like that.
No, she never bursts out laughing.
I never burst out laughing, ever. And because I don't want, especially in high school, I never want anyone to pay attention to me. Mm-hmm. I liked kind of being ignored most of the time. So when that happened, also embarrassment. So I'm sure my face was just red. But I don't remember what the face was, but it was.
Me neither.
I guess it was something.
It was probably
enough to catch my attention
because he said something and trying to explain it. I don't think I got it, so I think it was
I don't know.
I don't know what the face was either.
Because that's the only time I've ever bursted out laughing like that. It's not happened again. So I guess
I'm not a funny person.
You gotta up the ante, apparently. God, Ashley, come on.
Alright, I'll just start getting more and more outrageous.
That was the only time, that's probably the only time I've really bursted out laughing like that. And I don't know why. I really don't, but that is
it wasn't even a purposeful thing on my end
that moment's seared into my brain. Whether it's from embarrassment or just because it's the weirdest thing that's probably happened to me in high school.
And this was very beginning, early friendship, because obviously we were still in the math class. This was when we were first getting to know each other.
The only time I actually talked with Ashley was in math class and in the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. Although the cafeteria was sometimes weird because I was mostly just talking to Meg, who sat next to me.
Yeah, she was always talking to Meg or on her phone or doing homework.
Yeah.
I was on the crazier end of the table.
Yeah, it was like almost like it was split. One half was like the loud, crazy people, they're gonna throw things. The other half was like me and Meg, silently chatting.
Yeah, they're
scribbling on homework because we didn't want to do it when we got home. Yeah. So most of the time we would be like scribbling at lunch.
Meanwhile, the other side of the table is like, so that side of the table is like you, Sam, and Meg.
Yeah.
Sometimes Allie, and then the other end of the table was Allie. This is a different Allie from the math class. Yeah. Me, Jen, and Maddie. And me, Jen, and Maddie are a chaos trio. So hell just raises whenever we're together. So basically, picture like things being thrown, lots of laughing, things being mixed together that shouldn't be mixed together, and then eating that.
None of us got like annoyed with each other because it just worked out for whatever reason.
They were just over there just like, what's going on?
Me and Meg silently chatting because sometimes Meg would be looking at me and be like, because I'd be like, hey Meg, like what's up, because me and Meg also were on the same bus, and sometimes I would just get off at her house a lot of time and go to her house. So it was mostly that, so I didn't really talk to Ashley too much. And then when it came time to start deciding on colleges and stuff, I was like, oh god, I don't know what I want to do or whatever. So then I decided that I wanted to direct and film and stuff, which is really weird if you think about how I was in high school and the role that I wanted is very you have to be outgoing and commanding, and I was anything but, because in high school I preferred people told me what to do, but now I tell people what to do. So it's very
the bossiness you've always strived to or dreamed to have is finally creeping out.
Always dreamed to be, but yeah, because I was like just too into myself in high school. Like I would just books to my chest, ignore everybody, to be doing my own thing. I mean, probably should have made more friends, but I was kind of content.
I wanted more friends. I just had like so much social anxiety that I didn't know how to interact with people. Like, I wanted friends more than anything, but I was just like, I don't know how to interact with people. Nobody wants to be my friend. Nobody knows I exist. I know. So this one time, this is just going to be like high school stories. I had this sociology class. It was a really fun class. We were like broken up into like tribes and like did like lots of games throughout the year. Basically just kind of like to study.
I took that class too.
It was really fun. I liked the teacher. She was interesting. I can't remember her name.
I'm really bad with names.
And she was a very, not crazy teacher, but like loud, boisterous. Like, she'll tell you straight up what she thinks.
And sometimes I find those teachers the scariest.
Yeah, she was kind of intimidating.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, she was fun, but she was intimidating because she would put people in their place. But anyway, obviously it was like the tribes were competing against each other. They were assigned. And so they were started as like a lot of small ones, and then as it went on, like you would take people,
absorb people, like you're mine now.
It's basically like studying like how civilization works, doing different tasks and challenges. And the original group, there was a boy in the original group. When it came to the end, one of the final challenges was that the tribe leader had to go around and like say the name of every person in the tribe. And me and him were in the group together from the very start. We had to work together. And then he came to me, which is halfway, and he was like, Lucy?
Oh, Lucy!
And we were all just like,
no.
Lucy! And I was like, Ashley. And he was like, oh, so I don't think we won that one. He knew most everybody else's names. I think there's only a couple people that weren't, but mine he completely like bombed. And I was like, we've been in the same group since the beginning of the semester.
See, that's a little opposite, because as quiet as I am and I talk to nobody, for some reason everybody knew my name. So anytime someone like addressed me by my name, I was always suspicious, because I was like, I don't know who you are.
That happens to me. To me occasionally, but not.
But that was like most of the time. Whoever approached me knew who I was, and I was like, I don't even know you. They're like, hey, Makayla, and I'd be like, hi. I was like, what's your name? What's your name? Stephen, Connor. I don't know. I don't even know who they are, and I'm just like looking at them. They're probably like looking at my face, like, I don't know. That was weird. That was weird for me. And to go back into my story, anyways. Knew I wanted to be film. Oh, yeah, there was a college that required like a short film or something, or project to submit to, and then I was like, okay, I want to do this, and I want to do obviously we've talked about it a lot. Stay Alive, Stay Aware. You guys won't.
Talked about it a lot?
I feel like we've mentioned it because you guys will never see it because I'm sure the people in it don't want recognition.
Yeah, it's our older friends, and they're not really into like being like on camera and
they did it to help with my college, but they didn't do it for everyone to see it.
No.
I'm sure I can show pictures though where it's just Ashley or me, and Meg would be fine, or Maddie.
There's one, you know, the one photo of me where I'm like in the weird zombie makeup and I'm in the window. I'm like,
I don't know.
You don't remember that one?
I remember, but I don't know where it exists.
I don't know. Maybe it's on Facebook.
But anyways, I think Ashley was the one that stepped up to do it with me, almost. Because I think Meg definitely helped a lot, but I think that's mostly where our friendship worked.
I was in a minor role for that, too. I was a little zombie that shuffled by on the road.
And I did her makeup.
And, like, stood outside the door and went, rah, 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 rah. And that was my role. And we didn't know how to do zombie makeup at the time, so basically I just had, like, black eyes and, like, Ronald McDonald, like, rash mouth.
It still didn't look bad because there's some...
No, it looked creepy for sure, but zombie, debatable. But...
Because I remember I was just doing it to her because I was just like, taking a kiss. And then after we did that, me and Ashley definitely got closer because, I don't know, something probably clicked that day. Either it was the way we were working or the ice finally melted between us. Because we were still like acquaintances. I wouldn't have called us friends quite yet.
No, we were still just like acquaintances at that
But like
point.
after that day, the ice melted away.
Even
and
though
it was
we didn't really interact with it because like think of it like as like a real movie set. So the director's off doing everything else. If you're just like a little extra, you're just sitting in the corner. So I was just Jen was there and Maddie was there. So we were just raising chaos with each other while they were getting ready. At one point, I think it was Katie, it was like, no, come on, children. She took me by the shoulders and was like, you sit here in this corner.
Yeah, I think so.
I got put into timeout.
Yeah, so I think the ice kind of melted away at that point. And after that, then we started, then we talked about this in the other one. We wanted to start that book. We also talked about how it was when we were all in a group chat with like everyone at the table. Me and Ashley were the ones responding. So then we went to our own, and then we had one with just the three of us and Meg, too. And call that the mini squad, even though now that's just the main squad because everyone's living their lives.
Yeah, it's hard to... Everyone is like, some have kids, some are like engaged. Well, one is like has a kid and engaged. Yeah. Everybody's working. People are like all over the place, moved away. Yeah. So it's just hard. Yeah. They have their own groups.
Yeah. But yeah, so that happened. So then we branched off, which strengthened our relationship. And then we decided to do Supernatural Junior. So basically our friendship started off as like a business.
Yeah, we started with working relationship. So I think it also helped, like, because she said, like, I stepped up a lot and was like, oh yeah, I'll help do this acting thing. Because I've always been, like, interested in, like, acting and just, like, movies and stuff. So I think when I was in elementary school, we didn't have, like, a theater club or, like, we did have a local community, like, theater group that I just didn't know about. Like, my family didn't know about, like, things, so I just wasn't involved in that type of thing, which I wish I was. Yeah. I wish I got into that when I was younger. But they had these enrichment programs, so, like, for a couple of weeks, you would have these, like, themed, like, little kind of mini club things with, like, different things. I did, like, a theater one, so, like, kids from the middle school came down and showed us, like, a couple of, like, little dance moves. I did drama club in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. So I was in 2 musicals and a play. Bonus points if you can name them.
She's talked about it a lot, and was it the Seuss one?
That was the first one. Seussical Junior.
Yeah. I feel like you've talked about the Seussical one way more than the other one.
It was the most fun one.
Yeah, I usually, when she talks about, like, her play life, I usually hear about the Seussical.
The 8th grade one was Once on This Island Junior.
I've never.
Kind of like a blend of, I think it was like based off of The Little Mermaid or something. It was based off of like something.
I've never heard of that play.
Most people haven't. My parents were even like, I liked Seussical better. It was like, I don't control learning. Like, it wasn't a bad one. It was like, basically this like prince from like the wealthy side of town gets into like this car crash, and this poor like peasant girl like takes him in. I think eventually she like dies and turns into a tree. It was, sorry, spoilers, but it was an odd one. It had some fun music though, lots of colors. And then the third one, it wasn't a musical, it was a play. It was Our Town, which was, it's a very boring play because it's a classical one.
I think I had to read that in English class.
Yikes. Even, like, the cast members were so bored. They were just, like, backstage, like, God. But also, like, I don't know if this is how the play is supposed to be or just how ours did it, because it was, like, some sort of anniversary, I think either for the play or for the school or whatever. That's why they chose to do that one. And they choose to have, like, minimal set. So there's basically, like, almost no set.
I think
no
that's
props.
The point of it.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Because if I remember the play, because I'm pretty sure I had to read it in English class, I think the point of it is that it's minimum.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so, like, and it's just kind of slow. I don't even remember the plot.
Don't ask me.
I was in ensemble, so I was a background player in all of them. I'm not talented enough to be a lead.
You should have seen the talent that we had in our schools, though. Like, they were insane.
Yeah, they all deserve the main roles. They're very talented.
We had very
I also
talented
didn't have, like, an outgoing personality, so that's also, like, probably didn't help.
Yeah.
But I actually was in the choir for that one, so our options, so we got to pick whether we wanted to be in the choir, one of the dead people.
I'd be like, dead, please.
A lot of people wanted to do that because all they had to do was just sit there on stage and just stare. And I think there was another thing, I don't remember what, but most people did dead people.
See, I was too shy, but that's the type of stuff that I wanted to do, / wish to do. So if we knew each other when we were younger, we would have created like havoc, because we would have for sure, because you know, I told this before to Ashley too, but like when I met Ashley and stuff, she's much more easygoing in a sense, obviously much more than I was anyways, so that's why it's very much easygoing and stuff. So Ashley like slowly taught me to let go, not to be so uptight about some things, and just to have fun. So when me and Ashley were together, I would be having, I wouldn't say more fun, but I would be almost different-ish, a little bit more outgoing and willing to do things. So, like, if only we knew each other when we were younger.
I feel like it's also, like, I'm typically an easy person to get along with. Like, my energy levels will, like, match the people around me, so, like, I adapt to, like, who I'm with. I've been told, like, I like other, like, really introverted people, like, I'm not draining to be around. This is just what I've been told.
They haven't lived with you. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, fair. Like,
kidding.
Obviously, like, when I'm super comfortable with you, I'm a lot more chaotic.
Obviously, we've been friends for so long. That it doesn't even matter.
No.
But yeah, no, that definitely helped our friendship, too, because, like, we talked about Walker Soccer Con. Like, Ashley's, like, the only friend that I knew besides Maddie, but Maddie's always busy, that would do that with me. And I really wanted to go, but I didn't want to do it alone. So, like, getting her to do that really also helped, because obviously we're senior year and past senior year, we're still knowing each other and still seeing where our friendship took us and stuff. But
they're training so hard.
I think that's also why it's our friendship is still strong, because it started kind of like on a, he's dreaming, guys.
He like conked out. He's been asleep for like a minute and he's like kicking us off the couch.
I know, he's wolfing. Because I've had a lot of people say that they haven't seen friends like us work so well. And this was like when they're like, how long you been friends? Like for years, right? And this is the point where we're in like a year, maybe 2, and they're like, what? Like, I thought you guys would have been friends for so long.
Yeah.
So we've gotten that a lot. Obviously, our friendship is now at the level where people think it is. But like when we're still very new to each other, people are like, how long you know each other? Like your whole lives? Because it seems like that.
Yeah,
and we're like,
people
no.
are always shocked that we're like, we didn't know each other until we were like basically almost adults.
Yeah, so I think that helped because we started kind of like on a business level and then built the friendship because of that. So I feel like that helped us be able to work so well together. Because even when we are at our job now, a lot of people say, I've never seen friends be able to work so well together.
Yeah.
Because if we rarely ever have a problem with each other. We rarely ever have a problem with each other, but if we do, we don't bring it to work.
No, we keep
like,
it separate.
We keep working and stuff like that. So I don't know, we all have little passive aggressive moves towards each other, but we fight through it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, awful. But I don't know, I think it's really helped because people...
It looks like I'm wearing
definitely
gloves. Look how pale my hands are.
It's definitely helped. But yeah, I gotta say to anyone who's in high school, don't be so afraid. It's obviously high school, the way it's built, especially public high school, the way it's built and the way people talk about it and stuff, it doesn't have to be that way.
No.
Because I've had a lot of fun moments with my friends, and I don't care that I was kind of known as the weirdish one, because I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was like, I'm an outcast, but it is what it is.
It's easier said than done, obviously. But it's not about the amount of friends you have, it's about the friends you do make.
It's about the quality, not the quantity.
Yes. And I know that's really hard to understand in that time because you're still growing. So, of course, I'm saying this now. If anyone in high school's watching, it's like, well, you don't know. It's like, I do know. I've been through it.
Yeah.
But I also understand that you don't know it because you're going through it now and you're trying to understand it.
Yeah, one thing I can say is, like, don't worry if you don't have a lot of friends and, like, you want friends and you just don't know how to meet them. They always say, like, do things you're interested in and you'll find people. Like, they always say, like, join clubs. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When I was in theater, I was kind of uncomfortable, and again, I was kind of, like, the socially awkward outcast, and they're like, I didn't join, like, the theater family because, like, I didn't really go in having a friend, and, like, nobody was really that interested in, like, taking me in. So, like, I, like, interacted with people, and everyone was super nice. I just didn't form any, like, bonds or connections or anything. And, but then when it came to, like, art club, which I joined in, it helped that I had, like, friends in there, and I was able to, like, meet more people and interact with a lot of people. So I definitely met people, but basically...
It's hard, because
you'll find people.
I still kind of went through it in college.
We've talked about that.
Although allows you to be more isolated.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't get pushed as much. You're not forced to, like, form relationships. Because in anything below college, it's like you're almost forced to make connections with people, even if you don't want to. You just feel pushed, like you have to. So in college, when it came to the point, it was like, well, it is what it is. That didn't help me, for sure.
Yeah.
It did not help me.
Like we said in the, I think it was the podcast where we talked about, like, our college experience, because, like, I was split into, like, the two schools. I didn't really have, like, I'd never really nested fully into one because I went from one to the other. I didn't really meet anybody or make any friends.
I'm the type of person that needs to meet somebody that makes me my friends.
Yeah.
For me, that was, like, Jen and Meg when I was, like, in middle school and stuff. Because that's where most of my friends came from. So, like, I needed someone to make friends for me, force me into a group. And I didn't have anyone like that. And I'm still learning that I don't need anybody like that. Yeah. It takes a while to
If you want to be my friend, you just have to be patient. Because I'm very quiet and awkward at first. But it's hard for me to get to know people.
Take Ashley to do fun things.
Yeah, I know.
To warm up more quickly that way.
I know, actually, my friend Mary has said the same thing. She said that I just hit you in the face twice. I'm not always, like, I can be pretty easy to just sit and do nothing with. Yeah. But, like, it just depends on, like, our interactions, because she said, like, you're the type of friend where it's, like, it's kind of, like, hard for us to just sit and, like, do nothing together and, like, find something to do. But if we, like, go out and do stuff, it's, like...
Oh, I could just sit here and stare at Ashley and I wouldn't do anything and she wouldn't either. We'd just stare at each other. But, yeah, I don't know. High school, looking back, I wish that I was...
Yeah, I definitely
wish I pushed myself just a little bit more.
Me too.
And I wish I did.
I definitely feel like I missed out on some opportunities because I was like, I don't want to do this if I don't have anybody with me. Because I'm still kind of the same way.
Don't get me wrong.
Because of, like, that anxiety.
I didn't go to prom, and I still don't regret that.
Oh, I went and I loved it.
I think that would have pushed me too far. And I'm still fine with not going. Like, it doesn't hurt me, and that's all that matters. I knew then I didn't want to go, and I knew I would never regret it.
It's basically just a normal dance with, like, nice fancy dresses and a nice meal.
I'm just not into that.
If you're not into school dances, then not you. And don't feel like you have to go if you don't want to.
I wish I was just a little bit more out there. Because definitely in sophomore year, I don't know if it was quite depression, but I definitely went through something then. And senior year, I kind of fell into a little bit more of a pit, and that's why I got Maka. Also, don't know if it was quite depression. I don't think I was quite there. But definitely not my normal self. And
it could have been, like, situational. Like, it could have, like, resolved itself. Because it's not always, like, clinical.
Oh, no, I was not.
Depression.
No, I was not there.
But you do certainly, like, mental health will go into ruts. I know mine goes into them.
Yeah.
I was in not a great place in high school
basically,
either.
my body, like, when I went through it, I was like, I need a dog. So, like, basically, I wanted something to take care of was my response. So my response to whatever I was going through, I was like, I need to take care of something. I need something that's mine. I need to take care of it. And that's what Maka was. So, like, I took Maka out a lot. You know, she helped me get out of the house because I had a walker. Took her to the dog park. That also helped our friendship because we would take Obi and Maka out for walks. We did that a lot.
We haven't taken our dogs on a walk together in a while. I want to do that again.
Yeah. We had more time before jobs, really.
Yeah.
Because we would take Maka and Obi out for ice cream. They would go for walks. Because Maka has known Obi as long as she's known Ashley, which is like her whole life. Basically, because I wanted to introduce them really soon. So she was like 3 months old with an Obi.
Yeah.
And
it's very gentle.
They're very gentle. She was rough. So they're still friends. They still love each other, which is great because Maka doesn't get along with... I mean, she doesn't do anything, but... She has a hard time loving doggies, huh? But yeah, I definitely wish I pushed myself a bit more. I was in band and marching band, but I didn't form those groups that everybody else did in band. I was pretty much just there with Meg.
I was in band in elementary and middle school, and I wanted to continue, but marching just wasn't I don't remember if I've talked about this or not, but marching was not something for me because I knew I would have to memorize music, and that's not something I felt like I could memorize just because that was a lot for, like, my brain and my, like, body movements. And just, like, marching in line, like, I'm not a very rhythmic person. So it was like, if I could have just done concert band, I would have stayed in band. But because you were required to do marching band, too, which I don't think they should, because it's like, what if you have, like, a disability or, like... Well, I'm sure there's special cases.
You can sit on the side if you have a disability and just play your music. You don't have to be marching on the field. No. But
yeah, I would continue with that, and I know, like, I had a lot of band friends.
Because during marching season, we played marching music. We didn't play concert music. So if you were just in concert, like, you wouldn't need to be there. Like, but yeah, so, I don't know. Definitely push yourself just a little bit. Don't, like, overdo it, but maybe join, like, a club that you know at least one other person in.
Or go to a club and, like, just see if you can meet people. And if you can't, that's okay. If you like the club, stay in it. And if you don't, it's not for you. Yeah. Winston, no barking. We're podcasting right now. Don't you dare bark into that mic. That's gonna hurt. Don't do it.
He wouldn't be barking right now if the other two weren't. He doesn't usually start it on his own. It's when the other two just, like, rile him up.
He barks on his own sometimes, but usually it's when he sees or hears something.
Yeah. He's like looking right into the camera.
Yeah, I know I wish I did more. Like, I wish I knew more about the community stuff. Like, I would have done the community theater program. I think I did audition for the spring musical.
Musical.
Yeah. In high school, it was what was it? It was Once Upon a Mattress, I think.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was a cool one. I auditioned for that. It was a rough audition. I forgot the words to the song halfway through, so I was just like, so I was like, that could be part of the reason. So either they just didn't like me, or it's because I just botched that so bad they were like, she's not cut out for it. So I did not get into that.
The talent in high school was also huge.
We were also in a school with thousands of people.
Yeah. Because we had multiple towns and stuff.
You're in a real bad spot.
He wants to be part of the conversation.
Should we just put the brown wig on him?
Yeah. Just don't sniff the mic.
Winston, come lay up here.
You might want to go up there.
Well, I can't get up. I got a 200-pound dog sitting on me.
But yeah, I don't know. So it was interesting how we met. I gotta say, I think I'm easier to be friends with now than I was in high school.
You're definitely more outgoing and more likely to, like, go up and talk to somebody. Yeah. Before you wouldn't have.
But I gotta say, weirdly enough, it was working retail that helped pop my bubble.
Yeah, that has also helped make me a little bit more,
Don't sniff the mic! All you're gonna hear is...
I know retail has definitely helped, like, raven me up a little bit. Like, I still get, like... I'm still, like, not good with, like, confrontation or whatever, so
No,
I don't
me
think I
either.
would be good in a management position in retail because I would be forced to interact with people.
Yeah, because I've worked in
like
retail for, like, almost as long as I've known Ashley at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely helps. For any shy people, I gotta say, if you join retail, it'll definitely help you out there more.
You do have to have a bit of thick skin, though. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been affected by words, really.
No.
It rolls off me pretty easily.
I may rant for a very long time afterwards, but it really doesn't hurt me. Like, I go home at the end of the day and I've already forgotten about it.
I'm just like, you're not going to say anything to me that I haven't said to myself. So.
Because, like, recently, in the past 2 days or so, we've both had customers just, like, argue and scream at us. And for some reason, I'm getting more like my mom, which is, I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I will
entertaining for me.
But I will fight to my last breath. I will fight to my last breath. Because, so, if someone will start, nowadays, someone will start to fight with me, and I'll start shaking, and then they say something, and I go, and then I'll just go.
I wish I could do that. I had, like, this kind of, like, crabby, like, almost nasty couple the other day who were just being...
Oh, yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, I was completely nice to them the whole time, and I don't think that they had the problem, like, with me specifically, but they were, like, taking it out on me. Like, I guess they had, like, poor prior experiences or whatever, and they were mad because they couldn't use any of their coupons that didn't apply at the store.
Listen, it's already 2 for $89. What more do you need? Yeah. But, yeah, because I had a customer yelling at us about masks, because we have
so many mask customers.
Yeah, and it's just awful. And it wasn't even my fight. They were fighting with my other employee. Mm-hmm. She's higher up than me, but I started, like, shaking because I was like, great, here we go. And I turned around and I, like, took a deep breath and then I backed her up. Mm-hmm. Because even if she's wrong, back your other employees up, unless, like, they're super duper duper wrong. Yeah. And, like, there was no reason for them to be like that.
And then you come in and step in and take over and do what you can, which is harder for us because we're just part-timers.
We are part-timers, but there has been times where I've, like, stepped in and helped try to, like...
Oh, yeah, when
smooth the situation.
Like, I'll still get anxiety. Like, when I was dealing with a couple, I had, like, anxiety, nausea afterwards. But, it's like a fight or flight, because I definitely feel something before and after people decide to have a conversation with me. Even when it isn't that bad, it's just, like, something in me. It's just, like, my person. And I just can't. But if I see somebody start getting, like, really testy with, like, another coworker, I'll kind of, like, hover around the area to, like, step in if needed and, like, help back them up.
I definitely start listening in, because I didn't realize Ashley was having problems with these people, and then when I stepped up, I heard their tone, so I kind of just, like, hung out there.
Yeah, I noticed you did. So I was like, okay, I'm going to back up. I'm surprised... Our manager was right there behind me the whole time at the register, and she didn't even turn around or anything.
She was having her own problems. The computer was, like, freezing.
Yeah, I figured.
And stuff. So
I knew she was dealing with that, but I'm also like, I could use some help. But she was probably like, Winston. She was probably like, they're not yelling yet. She's got this.
Well, I was also there, so Gail's probably like, Makayla will defend Ashley if anything goes super wrong. But we got off track. Yeah. I gotta say, while I could not have handled a job in high school, getting one definitely did help push me out of my bubble more of my comfort zone. It definitely helped me felt just more comfort, I guess, in my own body, in a sense, in my own limitations. Yeah, because I'm definitely more outspoken now. You can even, if my manager was ever on our podcast, I guess she would tell you the difference she's seen into me. She tells me this all the time. She's like, oh, I remember when you came in and you really wouldn't talk to anybody and you stood, like, in the back corner and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and now look at you now.
She doesn't see any of that stuff in me, though. Like, I've had a ton of growth in retail, and she's always still like, you don't talk to anybody. You don't do this. I'm like, I ask every single person if they need help.
I was like, Ashley's nicer to the customers than
I interact with everybody, and if you see me walking around just looking at people, it's because I've already asked if they need help, or I know other people just did. She seriously doesn't think I've grown at all.
It's because I'm louder than Ashley.
Yeah,
I'm way more louder than Ashley.
I just don't have a naturally loud voice. My voice is just naturally quieter, so, like, I get spoken over a lot. I just don't get heard a lot. And it's just because she doesn't hear it on the other side of the store, it doesn't exist. It's like if a tree falls in the forest.
There was also a class that I made myself take public speaking in high school.
I was required to in college. I had to take it. I hated it.
Public speaking did not help me.
Me neither. I just had like anxiety and my voice was just shaking the whole time. I'm like, I'm forced to do this.
The amount of anxiety that I had when I had to do speeches was huge, and I would be shaking, and I was like, this is a problem. But I was trying to push myself, and it just didn't get there. But retail definitely helped because you can come out on your own terms pretty much. Mm-hmm. You're not like forced to, immediately be like.
You can hide if needed.
Yeah, you can
escape to the back.
You can hide. You can like do other work that doesn't involve customers.
And you're not being graded.
No, so, like, that also helps.
Like, if you're being screamed at a customer and you get, like, nasty back at them, usually the manager will be like, okay, maybe handle it different next time, but I'm with you.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I guess that was kind of our high school experience. I didn't really...
I know I have a lot of other high school stories of just, like,
Can I just say, my memory is really crap.
I have a really good long-term memory. Bad short term.
I have really good short term because if I go need to remember this, I will. Especially when it comes to stuff like this. Like there's just like little markers placed in my head, but my actual memories and things that have happened to me, gone.
I'm opposite. Like I can remember things from kindergarten, elementary school, but ask me like if I'm getting ready, I'm just like, what was I just reaching to put in my bag? So
you're the opposite. Like my memory, though,
Yeah, it's funny because people are always like, you guys are super similar or super different. Because I feel like we're very similar in some aspects, but very
if we were
different
too
in
similar,
others.
I don't think we would still be friends.
Probably not.
But I think we're just different enough.
It's a good balance.
It's a good balance. Because also, if she was too different from me, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, because it's like if you you're not gonna be friends with somebody you have like nothing in common with. It just doesn't work.
And if you're too alike, you tend to fight more. Mm-hmm. I know that from experience.
Butt heads.
Yeah. Even if it's accidental, it just happens.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all I have to say, really. If you guys have any other questions about our high school, we can talk about it because our high school was. We did talk a little bit about it in colleges, in our college podcast.
I'd say we can tell stories about like elementary and middle school that we weren't there for, but you don't remember anything.
I don't remember nothing.
So I can tell stories.
You can tell stories and I can just react to them. Maybe her telling stories will trigger something in my brain to make me remember.
I feel like that usually happens.
I feel like that's how brains work, right? Someone mentions something and then your brain gets triggered and it brings it forth or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look at me like I'm an expert in memory.
Yeah, but we went off track a lot, like usual.
Yeah.
Wow, who could have predicted that?
I never finished saying how, like, we got into, like, the filming stuff together. I left off at, like, the theater.
I think I just kind of fell in.
Yeah, well, because, like...
Fell into place.
It also helped because, like, I did the theater, and I also used to like to try to film things. Like, I had this, like, little cheap tablet. I used to try to, like, I was like, I want to make a movie. I want to, like, film something. I can make video. So, like, I had my music stand, and I would stick the tablet on it, and, like, I tried, like, oh, my feet. He's laying on my feet. But,
yeah, that happened.
He's just twitching. But, yeah, so I would, like, try to film things. I tried to get my brother to, like, make a little movie for me. I think I filmed, like, 3 minutes and never actually did it because, I mean, me and my brother didn't really get along. We still don't.
When I was younger, I wanted to be an author.
I've always liked
because I could just work by myself.
And then in high school, I took a digital communications class, which was kind of like TV production and a little bit of editing. So, like, I've always been kind of, like, interested in this field. Although, like, where you're talking about you kind of, like, just decided when you were, like, getting ready for college. Like, even, like, as I was, like, applying to college, I'm like, I still don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Like, psychology was, like, a last, like, minute thing for me because I was like, I like how... I'm interested in seeing how, like, people work and such, and I think that could be applied in a lot of different places, and so I went with that. But it's like I went through so many things. Like, I wanted to be, like, acting, and just, like, I can never, like, make up my mind as a child. Like, when I was younger, people always thought I was going to grow up to be a vet because I loved animals, and I was like, that was what I wanted to be when I was little. I was like, I'm going to be a vet someday. And then, like, as I grew up, like, I did a job shadow at a vet's office, so I got to be back there and, like, work with them and stuff. But I think I realized, like, this is nice, but I can't really picture myself being in this kind of, like, medical, like, lab field as a career. And so it's, like,
There was only 3 job options that I've ever really wanted. I always say this film one, which didn't really happen until senior year of high school. My other toss-up that I was thinking about was being like a profiler. Mm-hmm. The only reason why I decided not to do that was because I feel like I would be too scared at night seeing what people actually do to each other. Mm-hmm. So, like, while I find it, like, there's one part of me that finds it really interesting and intriguing and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. There's the other part of me that's a little too terrified. Mm-hmm. Like, I've talked about this before. Everyone has, like, a bubble of safety. Mm-hmm. And until that's popped, you kind of feel like you're almost invincible and nothing's going to happen to you. Mm-hmm. And I felt like if I went to go do that, it would be popped. And I didn't want to do that. Like, I didn't want to.
You probably also realize, like, yeah, this is really cool, but I'm actually going to have to go and look at, like, a maimed, like, dead body in real life or whatever.
I don't think looking at the dead body scared me. It was knowing that someone who did it is out there.
Mm-hmm. And knowing that you would have to interact with them.
So, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be, like, intentionally, like, a target for something. Mm-hmm. So that kind of put me off.
Yeah, forensics was really interesting for me for a bit, too.
I did really like history. I didn't want to do anything with it, though. And then, obviously, ever since, like, middle school, I was thinking about being an author because of how much I was reading and stuff. Mm-hmm. And interestingly enough, they said most people end up doing what they first wanted to do.
I don't think I'm going to be a vet.
No, I would say acting. And
I mean, even, like, before all
author.
Me and my brothers used to we would put on funny contests for my mom where we would just, like, pull out, like, different props and, like, just do random things to, like, try to make her laugh and be funny. And me and my cousins, we would, like, on Christmas and family holidays, we would make up these little, like, skits and plays and put those on for my family.
I did a few of those
are interesting. Myself. So I guess I've definitely always been interested in the arts because I've always really liked drawing too and just, like, creating things. So I think even though, like, I did very well in, like, the scholastic, like,
me too.
Things, just arts has always been kind of, like, where I wanted to go. So I thought, like, artist, actress, vet. I think at one, like, very short point I was like, I'm gonna be a female baseball player because I played baseball, like, for a little bit when I was younger.
Whoa. But yeah,
I think chef for a little bit.
Normal stuff that kids think of.
Teacher, art teacher.
I was thinking of being a teacher for a little bit, and then I was like, nah, I can't deal with anybody. I don't want to deal with kids.
I would want to be, like, a teacher to, like, help the kids who, like, need it, and I think, like, I want to, like, change things and make things be better, but I know there's a lot of teachers out there right now who are struggling because of the way that they're changing curriculum, and they're forcing them to teach in, like, awful, like, ways that aren't beneficial to them or the students, and they're just, like...
I gotta say, my recent goal is that I really want to make it big so that I have enough money to actually give back. Because recently I'm like, okay, it'd be so cool if I could give more students, whether it be college or high school, opportunities to actually get into the film world instead of having it just be, oh, you gotta know somebody. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that, oh, you just gotta know somebody and then you'll get there. No.
Yeah. Or having to, like, give people, like, favors. Like, I'm sure it's, like, hell for the women in the field, which you've always heard, like, needing to, like...
You've heard those stories.
To sell sex and whatnot.
You've heard those stories. And I just really want to get in there, kick down some doors and change it. I want to give, like, more internships, get people actually on sets, and build, maybe a little program, things like that. And I want to maybe help some people with actually college tuition because I'm struggling, and I'd rather help somebody else not struggle. And there's just a lot of things I want to do. Like, I want the money, but I want it so I can go build stuff, build programs and stuff.
Yeah, like, instead of it just being sat on by 1%.
I want to make, like... You know, how Disney is its own thing. I want Deblias to be its own thing, its own network. And I just want to build better... I want to make better films that are more, what's the word?
Not, like, that actually have meaning.
That are not just white people.
Diverse?
Yeah, I want to have diverse films. And I want to hire diverse people... And I want...
Get, like, a diversity team.
Yes,
because
exactly.
It's very hard. Because I know I've seen things where people always say, like, write more diverse characters. But then I've also seen a person... I think it was on Twitter, maybe. A person of color...
Don't write what you don't know.
Was like, we need more of this, but white people should not be writing it. Like,
yes, exactly.
If you're a white person, do not write a person of color as your lead. because you probably cannot accurately portray what their life is, which I think is really fair. So
Accurate.
it's like, it's kind of hard to find like that middle, I guess, like if you are a white person and you do want to like write that story,
you hire somebody
you
that's
need a
capable
team
of
that
doing that.
can like be like, okay, this is what I want to happen in the story. Can you help like bring it to life?
I wouldn't even. I would just give them the money to produce it. I would be like
that too.
I'd be
That's
like,
a better way to do it.
This is not my area. I'm not going to force any of my ideas in it. I can just say that I want to film on something, and leave it to them. But I do know that I just want to build programs and I just want to do a lot of things. So I really want to make it and really get my own company started. Have Ashley there, obviously.
I'll be there doing whatever because I still can't decide what I want to do. So I'll
just
be helping where needed.
Just doing a lot of work and, making a difference, hopefully.
I think that's what I've always wanted to do. Like, no matter what I ended up doing, I think I've just always wanted to make a difference in, like, somebody's life somehow. Whether it was, like, through social work or helping kids, creating art, just whatever. I was just like, I just want to break some barriers. I want to raise some, like, destruction to, like, the awful, like, what is it, like that SpongeBob quote, like, dismantle this oppressive society, board by board.
Yeah, I just know that's something that, when I first wanted to be a director, I just wanted to be able to create worlds, because obviously being an author, creating worlds, right? I just wanted to bring stuff to life and I wanted to see it happen. And then after leaving college, I realized there's more to it and I just wanted to do more. But obviously, I got to get somewhere first. Yeah. And it's just hard to really break into the world of a film because of, like I said, it's mostly white males just running everything.
It's also hard where we are. Like, we're on the opposite end of, like, where most things are because a lot of things are filmed.
And I can't afford to pick up and move.
Because it's like, I think LA, Texas, Vancouver, and Georgia are like, and sometimes New York,
Boston.
Occasionally Boston, which are kind of close, but there's not as much over here, I don't think. Because we're over on, like, the northern east coast where, like, not a lot of stuff are. Like, the closest would be New York and Boston, and even those are a stretch for us.
New York's more Broadway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just really hope I make it one day.
Maybe someday we'll move out there just to, like, get our toes in the water.
I gotta say, people are like, why don't people do things with their degrees? It's because they can't afford to. It's not that they don't want to. It's just that life comes in the way and you have other things to pay for and you get stuck.
And you know what? If you want to get a degree just to expand your knowledge on some topic and you don't even plan on using it and you want to get it anyways. Do it. It's your choice. You want the info, you're going to be paying for it, so who cares if you're not using it?
Yeah,
you got it. You went through the work. It's yours.
But that's the reason why most can't follow through is because as soon as they leave, 6 months after, they're slammed with tuition bills. They're slammed. Some people are trying to move out, but they can't afford to.
Yeah, rent's expensive.
Rent's expensive, and then you also got food and cars and phones, and it's really hard to live on your own.
Yeah, and plus, like, jobs are hard right now, considering.
Yeah, but obviously, if you want to know how I feel, Blocked, our short film, definitely.
That was basically college experience.
That's basically some of our feelings, and it's mixed feelings, and sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling, and you can't put it into words. But obviously, the one word that most
human
can feel
emotions are complex.
Is frustrated. Yeah. A lot of frustration. Because it sucks. Because you're like, I want to do it. I'm like, but it's hard. But yeah. Went off topic. It's supposed to just be a bit high school, but, it was a little bit of life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit about life.
It floated in the conversation, and that's where we're going. We don't go into these. I've suggested we go into them with a skeleton, but she's like, nah, we'll just ramble. And
I feel like
we'll get somewhere.
I feel like that sometimes it's better, because then you can just talk about what comes to mind. Because if it's, like, so planned, sometimes I feel like you'll miss stuff.
But then, if it's not planned, then you'll miss stuff that you wanted to talk about. Like, I'm sure there's stuff that we had in mind that we were like, oh, this would be a great thing to talk about, but save it for another time that it'll come up.
Yeah, but I think that's good for now. Can you guys see us petting his nose?
Yeah,
little nose in my lap.
This right here, this is his nose. This is his nose, and it's his snout, and right here is his head, and his eyes are right here.
Alright, I think we can end that episode here. If you have any questions or anything, we'll always answer. If you want us to talk about something, we could talk about that.
We've got lots of stories.
We're very,
through our life.
as much as we were just saying how shy and stuff we are actually very open when it comes to filming stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, as mentioned before, we're both shy. We're not good at approaching people, but if you approach us, we'll both talk.
Oh, for sure.
I've always been that way. If, like, as long as you come up to me and start talking, I'll talk back.
And we're very open about our life and life experiences so far.
Pretty much.
So if there's anything
so if
there's anything you guys really want us to talk about or anything, we'll be more than happy to. There's not much that I'm not willing to share.
Yeah. Very little.
My life is not that secret.
I don't have much to hide.
Yeah, there's not much to hide, really.
I can keep secrets, I just don't really have any.
I was like, yeah. Mom's like, you hiding something from me? I'm like, hide what? I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I've got nothing.
I've been here. What do you want? What am I? I'm just throwing secret raves in my room at night.
Ooh, yeah.
Right next door. They're all silent.
Yeah.
Everybody just comes and sneaks through the window and it's just...
Yeah.
No music.
No.
So if she's ever
no
just
lights
like,
at all.
huh, what's that creaking? I think we have a ghost. It's just like people sneaking out your window to leave before she realizes they're home.
But yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share, everything. Go watch our other videos.
Let us know what you want us to talk about next.
Yes, that would be nice. Let us know that you're listening.
Listen to me. I have stuff to... Listen, please.
Let us know that you're watching.
Both that ups of Winnie.
Let us know.
Please.
Alright, ready? Bye, guys.
Bye, thanks for watching.